Hey, functional medicine fast track community. So I'm super excited to come to you guys today because I want to go through this one concept that gave me 1,000% return. And I'm sure anybody that understands 1,000% return doesn't come easily is going to want to listen to this. And I want to go back a little bit on the history of my timeline with functional medicine and give you some perspective of how powerful this is. Because when I started formally learning functional medicine, which is probably around the mid 2008, I loved this new way of thinking. It was absolutely just revolutionary for me. Now, although I had always promoted lifestyle, nutrition, supplements, natural ways since the 1990s, I've been already practicing for over a decade. Functional medicine really brought everything together. So that was powerful. And I went to every conference, seminar, webinar, online courses I could get my hands on. And my enthusiasm was contagious when I brought this energy back from these conferences and this learning to my patients. And they wanted to get started with functional medicine straight away. I soon realized that it was not all roses, unfortunately. And fortunately, you can see it in both ways. Now, what I found was 80% of patients never followed through from the initial few consults, which was frustrating in itself. Those that persisted felt the supplements were maybe too costly. Others thought it was hard to make changes. And I heard all the excuses. It was just, a part of the process of learning how to figure this out and get functional medicine right. Now, at the same time, there were some very complex patients that I needed support on. And I was new in functional medicine. I really just had no support. And that was a mindset game as well. It's because what happens if the next patient is challenging? What is going to happen? And that starts to bring the self-doubt and just your self-worth into play. And it's a whole nother process that I can talk about as well. Now, what I also found was each case took a lot of extra time over and above the patient consults. I was doing 2, 3, 4, 5 hours behind the scenes, researching, understanding, figuring out. And that made me exhausted as well. And what I also found was the balance between putting in that extra time behind the scenes, over and above the consult, did not match what I was charging. So that just didn't correlate. So we started to get all these misalignments coming along, which really, from our subconscious point of view, started to create a contraction. And really, these are some of the struggles that we see with most health practitioners who are experiencing functional medicine or those that are just starting. And often there comes to this point of contraction because it's very energetic. There isn't this balance of trading time for money. You've got to think about it a different way. And really, when I look back on it really is, thank goodness I went through that, because it really took me 5+ years to figure out how to get functional medicine right, which is a long time. And my return of investment at that point was minus. So I put in tens of thousands of dollars. When I was still staying in South Africa, I had to travel to the US to go to some of these conferences. And literally, I was in minus return of investment after 5 years. Now, there's an important lesson for those that are committed, is new concepts are always born through adversity. And if you aren't having challenging times, you're not going to grow. That's it. So if you're in that situation now and you're feeling frustrated, well, sometimes that is a good point, because now you're going to be looking out the box, looking for new things. If it was all just running smoothly all the time, you're going to just keep doing what you do. And unfortunately, that's not how the world works. So my whole thinking and the base of functional medicine fast track came from this adverse time. And the whole thought process was, could we as health professionals find the balance between excellent patient outcomes fulfilled from functional medicine, fulfill our mission and purpose on this planet? First of all, that was the first one. Then second, could we have a lifestyle that was not dictated to by trading time for money, and finally being able to enjoy life and not just be stuck in the office, patient, exhausted, have a sleep, go back, patient, 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 exhausted, sleep. That cycle is the rat race, unfortunately. So it would be great to have just more frequent holidays and work few hours and start to regain our health. And there was a principle that how do we start to gain that? And ultimately just become more energized and love life again, rather than just feeling like it's a burden. And then the third kind of principle or concept that I thought, how do we get this right, is how could we lift the ceiling on our income without working more hours? Was this something we could bring into functional medicine? And, as health professionals, we are the pawn in this modern healthcare system. Believe it or not, you know it so well. We're so devoted to our patients. We've got great hearts, but ultimately we are dictated to by third-party organizations, governments, insurance companies, and let's be honest, we have very little power to change the system until now. Until you understand the concept that I'm going to go through, because this concept changed everything for me. And I finally realized once we started getting this right that I could finally work less than 15 hours a week, serve my clients at the highest possible outcomes, and have the time and the money to enjoy the finer things in life. And that was the ultimate rounded balance that every health professional dreams of. And they come into this health profession with a good heart, they're serving patients, but ultimately it sucks the life out of them because there isn't that balance. So these principles are what fast tracks you to success that I'm going to go through with you now. And this concept is what will give you 1,000% return. So the first concept is make sure that your heart is still in that same direction of serving your patient to an extraordinary outcome. If you continue to use modern healthcare system model of the consult to consult model, you will remain stuck and frustrated. Whereas if you realize your patients desperately want better health and are prepared to do what it takes, then it's a different mindset. You're actually going to start to understand patients aren't looking to be sold to the next consult. They're looking to connect with a health practitioner that knows how to get them to the end result. And that may seem obvious, but it's not the way that we portray our communication to our patients from the word go. Second of all, how do we develop efficient and effective clinical and business systems to attract support and deliver what you have promised them that you're going to be doing? Because too many health professionals have zero systems understanding. Couple this with fear, doubt, and no support structure, and they never get out of the starting box. And they're going to be frustrated. It's just going to be a dream. It's going to be a hope. And it's going to be, and we've heard this so many times. I've been thinking about this for 10 years. I've done nothing about it. I've watched webinars on functional medicine. I've been to seminars. I've done the certification, and I've hardly started with anything. Now, on the other hand, those health professionals that are the most committed to their goals, coachable to new ideas, and can be resourceful when times get tough, will live a great life because they will get this concept that we've got right in place for the rest of their lives. The third principle that will give you 1,000% return is understanding functional medicine marketing. Now, marketing in functional medicine is entirely different from conventional medicine marketing. If you're trying to attract every patient under the sun, you'll become exhausted, burnt out, never become effective in achieving excellent patient outcomes. That's the bottom line. Sorry to say, we've seen it too many times. Marketing is far more sophisticated. And when it comes to functional medicine, you cannot think that, I'm just going to go and apply functional medicine to every patient. You still have to be a specialist in your niche. Now, we personally measure our marketing process and effectiveness by every dollar we spend on marketing gives us a $10 return. And this has been the case for several years now as we have continued to scale our functional medicine practice to several or multiple seven figures online. We are 100% online. Now, I firmly believe that you can do this as a hybrid practice with a minimum of 80% online. And I do believe that hybrid is a gold standard, that in person, but there are some limitations. Understand that. But I do believe hybrid of 20% in person, 80% online is kind of a good ratio. Now, once you get this marketing structure in place, you will attract patients who understand your niche, that your niche's authority. And I think that communication is what is being lost. There is self-doubt, there is a lack of understanding of marketing with health professionals. And when you're able to learn those principles and those systems, this is what is a game changer to building an online or slash hybrid functional medicine program that allows you to achieve your goals. And that goal for everyone I know is a balance of just getting your patients extraordinary results, having an awesome lifestyle yourself, and just popping that ceiling off your income so that you never feel trapped that this is all I can achieve in life. So I hope that makes sense, because I really try to sum it up. This is something that we live. It's not something that I just talk about. It's what we live on a day-to-day basis. I've worked from home for several years now, sold my brick and mortar practice. I moved with my wife and two kids to the US, and we built a multiple seven-figure business online using functional medicine concepts that I've just spoken about, and we continue to scale. At the same time, we've helped hundreds of other health professionals do exactly the same. And all I can suggest is, if you want to be one of the next 100 health professionals that we help do exactly the same and change their lives, then either watch the webinar on our website, functionalmedicinefasttrack.com. Just go to the Learn How button, click on there, watch that webinar. It starts every 5 minutes. Or click the call to action below here by booking a call with our team of coaches, and they will bring more clarity on your 2021 goals. And make sure you understand the steps needed to achieve these three main concepts that will give you 1000% return. And yeah, it's not all roses. It's still going to take some work, but I can guarantee you the percentages are on your side if you stick to the process, you stick to the game plan, and you just do what works. So again, just go to our website, watch that webinar by clicking the Learn How button, or book a call with our team, and our coaches will go through the next steps with you and see if this is the right time for you, because we need to find out if it's the right time. That is key. So again, my name is Garrick Foster. I'm the founder of Functional Medicine Fast Track. I love speaking to you. I love helping other health professionals and helping you to live the life that we've enjoyed for so many years. So you guys take care. Until next time, we'll see you soon.